We're here with my old pal, Arthur Germain,
Hey,
Brandtelling.
good to be with you.
Holy mackerel, you look phenomenal. Good to
Thank
see you
you so much. You too. You look like you're tan. You live in some place where there's some sun.
I try to stay out of it. How do you stay out of the sun in Florida?
Yeah,
Awesome.
you can't. You can't. You have to stay underground all day long,
Not
right?
good.
So what do you think? People in person again? I've been seeing people running up and hugging one another because they haven't been able to do that for 2 years, Jay.
It's phenomenal. I mean, I've seen people here. Mike and I came in earlier, 2 fans of the show at registration. It's good seeing people here. I mean,
It is.
You know, you think about the last couple of years, pandemic, scaled back, right? They had it in another location, you know.
I know. And I think people have had that kind of virtual or Zoom fatigue, you know.
Yep.
They really do want to get in person. I find that the younger crowd, the millennials, are having to learn, okay, you can shake hands, but don't use the Purell until you're away from the person. Don't do it in front of them. So
I'm telling you. Now you're so involved with business and marketing and helping businesses thrive. It's got to be a breath of fresh air from what you were going through a couple of years ago with clients, and now all of a sudden it's like
I see
we
things,
can breathe again.
Yeah, I see things opening up. People want to talk and look. And at Brandtelling, we're helping companies to establish, strengthen, and promote their brand stories. And one of the things that we're trying to figure out is how did the pandemic affect you? And it may be that during the pandemic, you know, you had the opportunity to acquire another company, or maybe you merged with another company, and that changed your brand story. And so we are seeing some of that. I worked recently with a company that's a second-generation firm, and they're doing more than the father's firm ever did. So they kind of grew out of the name and grew out of the brand. So we help them to look and establish a better brand story. But I do, like you said, I expect to see more of that coming now as we can see people in person and think about what they're doing.
Do you find more people now are reaching out to you based on the fact, you know, listen, it's been kind of dormant. Now is the time to kind of really get the word out and everything else. I mean, it's got to be seeing a little bit of an uptick, I would think.
Yeah, I see that people are more willing to take the meeting. And, you know, we could meet on Zoom before. It just seemed to be a way to put off sometimes a meeting. And I think a lot of sales guys will recognize that. They'll say, yeah, I had somebody go, well, I'll think about it. But what we've seen is now that we can get in person, and once we're in person, people like feel that's that last step. Let's move forward. Let's shake hands. Let's do something. So I think that's helping.
Do you find Main Street US of A on Long Island really suffered? I mean, a lot of businesses I would think that you dealt with are no longer here, correct?
Yeah, I didn't deal with as many of the retailers. I deal more with the B2B. I did see a lot of the retailers that had to change. You know, they had to do the drop and go, kind of, you know, pick up your food or drop off your clothing or whatever it was. It's funny, I spoke with my guy at the dry cleaner who said you'd be surprised at the number of people who came in with suits that just were like, I need all my suits, because they just sat gathering dust in the closet.
That's
for
like
a while.
me in Florida trying to get up here for New York. The cleaners saw like four suits. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
At $16 a pound. I don't know what's going on with the prices.
Oh my God, we have prices for everything.
But everything is good. Brandtelling, you kind of rebranded yourself a little bit in that name, right?
We rebranded ourselves. We were Communication Strategy Group. We became Brandtelling. It was a term that everyone knew us for, so we adopted that as the name, and that's made a lot of sense for us. It's all made a lot of sense for the companies.
Now, folks, Arthur, truth be told, he's one of the foremost voices when it comes to marketing, branding, and you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, don't tell
What year
anyone.
are you in now?
So I started in 2005. So
okay, so you got 17 years.
Yeah.
But you go back even prior to that stuff.
Yeah, I had been on both the agency and the direct side, and then before that, I was a business and technology journalist. So, you know. But I find that
so
what I do now...
you had a little bit of this and that in the business itself.
Exactly. You know, before moving over to the dark side, as I say, I find that I do a lot of what I used to do. We'd sit around a table when I was a journalist and we'd say, what makes this a story? Why will anyone care about this story? You walk up and down here and look at the trade show and see, and I find sometimes the booth that has the least amount of type, they're doing the best because they really tell their story. I'm looking right across over here at Harvest Power, and I know that these guys are doing solar. They don't have a word of solar there, but they have beautiful homes with solar on the roof.
And that's where you come in.
That's it, and that's where you tell.
You see what Arthur
tell
does?
The story.
Arthur can pinpoint a mile away what could be the missing link
I try.
as far as success.
I try. I appreciate that. And then we want to get them in front of you to help tell that story and really push it forward with,
there you
with the
go.
work that you do.
Well, listen, we love you. We love having you in. And we'll have you in the studio next time at the airport.
Absolutely. Or I'll come down to Florida, whichever.
You hop on the LI News private jet.
That's it.
You'll come down to the West Palm Beach studios.
That would be
in Palm
great.
Beach Gardens. Arthur Germain, ladies and gentlemen, Brandtelling. And a website, please, for people to...
Brandtelling.com.
There you go, as easy as that. Great seeing you.
Great seeing you.
Don't be a stranger. Arthur Germain, ladies and gentlemen, will be back.